Hi everyone, welcome to the patch notes rundown. This is a pretty good patch, I'd say. A lot of the problematic champions are being tackled. The ones that aren't are Gragas and Kai'Sa with the new build. So let's get into it. Bel'Veth. Um, so damage reduction on the E is down by 7% flat at level 1, up to 15%. So this is a good change. She's still really good, but she's not absolutely broken. And they did a bug fix on the Void Grubs, so she got more stacks than she was supposed to. But yeah, she's still really good, just not insanely broken. Brent's getting buffed again for some reason, so um, he's not getting buffed again. He's getting nerfed. His ultimate's getting nerfed, so but they're buffing his passive as compensation for jungle. But considering jungle, this is like a net buff because like with the 15% extra damage, his first clear is gonna be bonkers again. It's not gonna be as strong as pre-nerf because they also reduced the Q damage early, but his clear is still gonna be good. So he's playable in jungle again. He always was playable, but now he's like more generic good, more blindable. Um, but yeah, don't blame support or mid. He's pretty awful there with the alt nerf. So Evelyn getting nerfed. Her items got nerfed earlier, and she's losing 5% AP. Not the end of the world, but considering this is a primary damaging ability, it's pretty bad. Also nerfs her clear. Like her second from her second clear onward, it doesn't nerf her first clear because the base damage unchanged. Yeah, so overall, I think there are better champions than Eve, but she's really good. She's always like on the cusp of making the tier list or whatnot. Jarvan, point 4 armor. Q getting 2 seconds shaved off max rank. So this is the ability you max first, but uh, like level 5 and 6 you're still on the rank 3, right? So early it doesn't do anything. Uh, yeah, so you're getting point 0.5 seconds at level 7. Uh, Oh, actually, you're getting 1 second level 5. So yeah, these changes are so minor that it's not gonna move Jarvan. Jarvan just isn't very strong right now, and he's also when he isn't broken, he's also incredibly situational with his ultimate. He needs like good targets. Yeah, so they're increasing the health scaling on the Rust, so the Red King. So the healing from his ultimate is up 10%, and it's getting a bonus HP scaling. So let's say you get like 2k HP, you're getting like 10% extra. So these are pretty nice. The thing with Rust is he's incredibly situational, um, and I'm not even sure what you're supposed to build. Um, I mean, some Thunder Sky Cleaver kind of stuff. I don't know. I still think there are better champs. Like he's gonna become more of a drain tank in those situations, but his damage is not gonna be there. So yeah, might be just a low elo thing. I don't think these changes make Rast really good. But it's a nice buff. Kog'Maw. So he's getting 10% move speed on passive. The Q cast time now matches his attack speed, which is really nice quality of life change. I mean, his passive is still terrible, but 10% extra moves, will take it. 10% extra slow on the E. This is really fucking huge. On the rank 1, especially. And his ultimate is getting 10% extra AD scaling, which isn't, which is incredibly small because Kog'Maw doesn't build a lot of AD, he builds on it. So this translates to very little AD if you like take the 10% of it. Like usually you're only building Blade Rune, King Rage Blade, and Terminus, so that's not a lot of AD. Maokai, Yeah, this champion has been the best support for the entire season. He's losing 5 base movement speed, which is more of a jungle nerf. So they're buffing the bonus damage to monsters again to compensate for the nerf. But he isn't very good jungle, not even with this buff. And the cooldown W is going up by 1 second. So all in all, for support, he's losing 5 base MS, and he's getting 1 second added on the W. Um, yeah, this isn't enough to not make him really good. He's still tier-less material. He just might not be the absolute best support in the game, but he's still good. Nidalee getting 5 base MS down. Uh, so from 40 to 30 on the empower damage on the Q. These are relatively big changes, but I think Nidalee is still absolutely gonna be on the tier list, especially since there aren't that many great AP genres right now. Evelynn was also on the same patch. Elise still sucks, so Brand got a small buff. There's that. Yeah, Lilia's still there, Udyr, but not that many. And like her early game oppressive enough. I mean, it's still gonna be there. It's just mostly due to the nature of her kit, rather than like her numbers. Um, so yeah, so these are a lot of change for Rek'Sai, but the most important thing that you need to know is that the Rek'Sai mains are saying that he feels really clunky, like the knock-up isn't completely working with the auto attack like how it should be. So I think if you like intend to play like Rek'Sai, just wait till next patch and they might hotfix some of the bugs or do some quality of life changes. But if I'm looking at the numbers, they seem pretty good. Like he seems like an actual champion because he has the AoE knockup back and he can tunnel in and out of fights. And he's getting some nice so those changes already went through in the previous patches, but when I had him in my games, he was really weak. He didn't do enough damage, but now they're giving him some good like number buffs. Um, so the E monster bonus damage cap, for example, is up early, so this helps you clear. The alt damage is up, which is really significant. Um, so yeah, like his knockup feels a bit buggy, so I would wait a patch before picking him up, but it looks pretty good all in all. Senna. So Senna's broken. She's losing 10% points AD off Q. She's maybe it's like a somewhat big nerf, but uh, considering how good she was and what niche she feels like, she's still really good. Like in solo queue for support, there's no other better champion unless you're Pike One Trick. Yeah. So these are a lot of Seraphine changes, but um, basically they're nerfing her damage, but buffing all the shielding stuff, and they're really hitting her wave clear. So she might not be tier-less material anymore for bot lane. Um, and this also nerfed to mid lane coincidentally, because her wave clear is kind of gutted. Yeah, the base AD is down, and some of the damage amp on the minions for the non-champions is removed. So yeah, um, I don't know if she will make the tier support. We'll see. Like, there's too many changes to be sure. But yeah, I think for bot lane there are better champions to play now. So there's that. Sivir 4 armor. Yeah, it doesn't change the champion. Yeah, it doesn't do anything. Like, um, her kit just makes her completely uninteractive until she has 3 items, and then she can start taking over the game. Unless she gets one shot by the enemy assassin. There's that too. Don't play Sivir, please. Smolder. Okay, so they're making his damage more uh, reliant on getting the stacks. So this is actually a nerf. Yep. It should be a nerf. If you're in high elo or for good players, it's a nerf. If you're playing against monkeys, then it might be a buff, but um, overall these are good changes. Makes her weaker. So there's that. Good change if you're playing against her. Twisted Fate. So the bonus attack speed's going down by 10% at max rank, which isn't huge because early is unaffected, so his lane bullying is still there, especially in top lane. So bonus damage is going down significantly from 75% AD, 20% AD. Thing is, he doesn't really build that much AD if you go to on-hit build. Most of your damage comes from your on-hit effects, and like you're still doing your base auto attack damage when you're attacking, right? It's not the empowered damage that's necessarily the game changer. Uh, yeah, your auto attack still do a lot of damage, so this is only for the third attack, right? Um, so on it TF still good. Uh, maybe no, he's still really good. Like I don't see these chains moving at all, especially not in top lane. Vayne. So Vayne is losing 15 bonus movement speed of the passive. So this is the passive you get when you're running towards enemy champions. But the thing is, during his ultimate, it's still unchanged. So this is sort of a nerf early, but no top laner can contest him early. So bit of a non-change. It makes him more alter aligned. That's it. Tumble. Yeah, he's losing 2 seconds. So I mean, this does make it so he can't just dash into you. I'm gonna assume you're playing against him top because bot lane he's pretty much only counter pick against like 4 tank comps, and if you have a duo that has hands and is playing Lulu. Otherwise, yeah, he's mostly a top laner. So the Q nerf does make it so he can just she can just dash into you for extra damage like a chimp and just completely ignore you. But if the Vayne is skilled, these changes are not gonna move him from the top lane. Not at all. Veigar. So Veigar is getting extra AP scaling on the Q, which is big considering his passive. Uh, and a big change is the alt cooldowns going down. So Veigar isn't a champion unless he has alt. Early in the game, at least. Like later into the game, he can one-shot you without alt, but early he's pretty awful. He's losing 20 seconds, rank 1, and 10 seconds of rank 2. So these are really nice changes. Thing is, Veigar isn't a blind pick, but um, if you have a good matchup for him, he's very playable. So Vex getting 10 damage on the passive, and now you get refund on the Doom and Gloom. But the buff isn't enough, like you're just getting 5 AP and 10 flat damage. And Vex like doesn't get insane amounts of AP, cause she often goes into like Zonias or whatever, and I don't know. And she's not a late game champion anyway, so these changes don't help her. Wukong. So what they're doing with Wukong, instead of his passive gives him bonus armor and HP regen, and it stacks up to 10. So what they're doing is they're going to 5 stacks, but doubling each stack's effectiveness. And instead of falling off all at once, they fall off one at a time. So this is incredibly big for top lane because like you're twice the champion with stacks than without stacks. And the fact that they fall off one of time is a huge buff. Um, yeah, I mean these are really nice buffs, but he's still only ever going to be a counter pick. And Malphite is probably still going to be the better champion, in all honesty. And this is for top lane. In jungle he sucks. This doesn't do anything for his jungling. Um, Yorick getting nerfed. The champion um, isn't all that great, honestly, but he's getting nerfed, so forget about him. Um, Zac. So Zac is busted in top lane. Um, so what they're doing is they're buffing his W early and nerfing it late or when maxed. So the idea here is that they're buffing the first jungle clear and Zac's level 1, which isn't too great for top lane. But once you've maxed it, it's a nerf. And Jungle Zac maxes E, the slingshot, so I like these changes. The thing is, this isn't nearly enough of a nerf to nerf him for top lane. He's still obscenely broken top lane, and like there's only 3 or 4 champions that are better than him. I'd say Gragas, Vayne, Twisted Fate, and Gragas is still untouched. So, but yeah, like once you have this max, okay, you're losing 15 damage. I mean, it is pretty big, but the percentage is still gonna be there, right? So. Top lane champions are usually giga tanky, so um, it's a good nerf. Like he's still gonna be on the tier list, but he's not gonna be insanely broken. So items, support item, the slow thingy. I don't know if it's good or not. The support items are also different. That it's like you go to u.gg, you check out which one you're supposed to take, and it's not like you have any choice in the matter. Um, Dreammaker. Oh, these are huge buffs for late game. So like this could be an insane buff to like Janna. Because late game it's absolutely not for enchanters and stuff. Frozen Heart. Gold increased by 100, 5 armor reduced. Okay, this item was still very good. Now I'd say if you have an excuse to go around the win, you should go around the win. But you're still gonna be building this item if reducing an enemy's attack speed is necessary. Heart steal. So what are they doing? So the base damage is going down, but the bonus. So late game it's a buff. I mean the problem with heart steal is not the late game. The problem is that it fucking sucks when you buy it. You know. This item sucks. Like forget it exists. It just sucks. You buy it and you're not stronger. That's the problem with the item. Solstice Slay. Cooldown is up. Bonus health. Now skills. Bonus movement speed is down. Um, I don't know, man. Uh, this is a nerf for tanks mostly. I mean, these are actually pretty big nerfs. I'd say this other item looks better, but I don't play a lot of sports. I don't really recommend that you play sports. But yeah, this other item looks actually better in a lot of cases. If you actually can utilize the slow, if you're a champion where by the time you proccus you've already slowed the enemy, then this sucks. Then the solstice is still gonna be better. Spear of Shojin. So they're changing how it interacts, and basically you just need to check for each champion that you play what the changes mean, because it's too much to go through. They're basically attacks that are sort of count like spells now. That's basically it. Sunfire. This item sucked, and it's getting 50 HP and 3 base damage, which is nice. So now it sucks less. Lich Bane. So the ability power ratio is going down by 5%. Yeah, it's mostly a small nerf to Evelynn and Echo and that kind of thing. Storm Surge 3% movement speed. Okay, I like this change because now um, Storm Surge like has its niche again. Uh, like because either this item is stronger than the other rush items, or it's not, and then you never build it. But now it has a niche. I think they could have done with like 10% honestly, because that item just doesn't give you enough damage compared to the other stuff. Or Rocket Belt. So they're increasing the cost and the ability power, but the thing is, um, so an Amp Tome is 20 ability power for 400 gold. So stat wise it is a buff. But most champions that buy this just want to get the active, just want to complete the item as fast as possible. So it's an incredibly minor buff, I'd say, because a lot of champions just want to have the dash and like don't care too much about how gold efficient it is. Yeah, that was it for the patch. Let's recap. Bel'Veth, good nerf but still good. Brand, small buff for jungle. Evelynn, small nerf for jungle. Maokai, small nerf for support, garbage anywhere else. Nidalee, small nerf for jungle, but these champions are still going to be good in their respective roles. Senna, same thing, still going to be a good support, but it is a sizable nerf. On it, TF still going to be good. Vayne top still going to be broken. Yorick is garbage. Forget about Yorick. Zac is still going to be alright. And the changes don't make him a good jungler. It's just the small nerf for top mostly. Jarvan buff doesn't do anything. Um, Kayn Rast is gonna be annoying, but damage isn't up, so I'm not sure. Kog'Maw, nice buffs. Um, Rek'Sai is kind of buggy, so it looks good on paper, but he might feel really clunky to play. Sivir Change doesn't do anything. Vicar buff is nice, but only plays as counter pick. Vex buff doesn't do anything. Wukong, very small buff for top, but he's still gonna be outclassed by Malphite. Seraphine bot is probably gutted, and she's just more of a generic enchanter for support now, I guess. Smolder is a nerf in high elo. Yeah. Items. Heartsteel still sucks. Support items, kind of whatever. Like these are all very small changes. There's nothing major here, honestly. So yeah. So not much has changed. Everything is like incredibly minor. I mean, some of the outliers have been tackled, right? So instead of Maokai being giga broken, he's just really good now. Yeah. Uh, Thanks for watching. See you next patch. Bye.